Guadalcanal, a remote jungle island in the South Pacific. That became the turning point of the war against Japan. Most people have heard of Iwo Jima, most people know Okinawa, but Guadalcanal was where the tide began to turn. This was the beginning of the long road to victory. It's August 1942. The Japanese Empire is expanding rapidly across the Pacific. American forces are still recovering from Pearl Harbor. The next target is Guadalcanal, part of the Solomon Islands. Intelligence reports that Japan is building an airfield that could threaten Allied supply lines. The decision is made. The United States will go on the offensive. On August 7, 1942, the 1st Marine Division lands on the island. The landing itself is nearly unopposed, but the Marines know the battle is far from over. The objective is clear: secure the airfield, soon renamed Henderson Field. Whoever controls the airfield controls the skies and the sea. The jungle is thick, hot, and unforgiving. Heat, insects, disease, and exhaustion become constant enemies. Supplies are limited, reinforcements are uncertain, and every night, the Japanese attack. Determined to push the Marines back into the ocean, the fighting becomes relentless. Jungle warfare unlike anything the Marines have experienced before. Gunfire echoes through dense vegetation. Visibility is limited. Every movement feels watched. Every shadow could hide an enemy soldier. Battles erupt along the Tenarue River, Edson's Ridge, and deep within the jungle itself. The Japanese launch repeated night assaults, screaming charges meant to overwhelm Marine defenses. But the Marines hold the line, outnumbered at times, exhausted, and low on food and ammunition. They refuse to give up the airfield. Henderson Field becomes the center of the storm. Aircraft roar overhead in daily dogfights for control of the skies. Naval battles rage offshore as both sides fight desperately for dominance. Weeks turn into months. Rain turns the battlefield into mud. Malaria spreads through the ranks. Hunger becomes a daily reality. But the Marines endure. Slowly, the balance begins to shift. American forces gain strength. Japanese supply lines weaken. The relentless pressure begins to break the enemy's ability to continue the fight. By February 1943, after 6 months of brutal combat, Japanese forces withdraw from Guadalcanal. The victory comes at a heavy cost. Thousands of Americans are killed, wounded, or sick. But the momentum of the war has changed. Guadalcanal becomes the first major offensive victory for the United States in the Pacific. For the Marines who fought there, Guadalcanal was more than a battle. It was survival, mud, heat, fear, determination. Brotherhood forged in the jungle. A battle that proved the Japanese advance could be stopped. A battle that showed the world the tide of war could turn. Guadalcanal was not just a victory, it was a signal. The road ahead would be long, the fighting would only grow more brutal. But from this island forward, the United States would not stop. This was Guadalcanal, where the tide began to turn.